I think what I love now about our genre is that it's getting its outlet for all these sub-genres of it. And so suddenly it's now got so many artists with all different forms of country. And it's all country.
So it's been 4 years since we've had something from you. Where will your fans find you in this record, other than, like you said, having more fun and having more joyful? Like the journey that you're taking people on, obviously I've heard the whole album, but what were your intentions with this entire album? Where do you want people to come along with you?
I think I just wanted to capture the spirit of how I feel I am. You know, an album to me is like, my albums at least, I think of them like a photograph.
Yeah.
You know, so I take a photograph of myself. This photograph's called Hi. This is what I look like right now. And if I take a photograph next year, I may have changed a lot. I may have changed very little. If I've changed very little, that record would sound a lot like this one. If I've changed a lot, it'll be very different. None of it's intentional. It's just the journey.
Yeah.
And, you know, you may look totally different next year. So the two photos side by side would look very different from one another. People are like, why'd you change so much? And you went, it wasn't intentional.
She's stressed out.
But you
I
know
hope
what
I changed for the better.
But you know, I mean, that's why sometimes you can change a little bit, change a huge amount. Records to me are exactly the same. That's why
So
they're
true.
like, I don't know what they're going to be until I get in and start making it.
I know, but like they still have your touch and like and when I say your touch, it's like you make these songs with your lyrics that just go right to the heart, right? And it's like you're still able to maintain that. So that this is always a curious part for me with artists. It's like, as much as you may, you know, try something new, but your foundation is always the same, which is you're still able to touch people right down to the soul. So how do you know which song is going to do that? Because I can imagine you have such a huge catalog of songs.
If I love it, passionately love it, then I want to capture that with all of that love for the song. And if I do that, then it's going on the record, and I just keep doing that until I've got a sequence that feels right.
So it's like literally from your heart.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, literally.
Because you feel it.
Because I don't know what people are going to, I can't do it thinking people are going to like what I'm doing.
So true.
I don't know what people like. We don't know what we like. We know.
So true.
Especially right now, we're so inundated with choice, kind of almost drowning in options that we don't even know what we want anymore.
Yeah, you have to tune it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. But I can also imagine you have obviously some close people that perhaps you play for. I mean, I can imagine you play some songs for your wife, Nicole.
Sure.
Like, does she ever come back and say, not that one, honey? And you're like, but I love it.
Yeah.
That was my Australian accent. Did you like that?
That was quite good.
It's terrible.
Everyone always sounds like a Beatle when they do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I sound.
You didn't.
I feel like every accent I try to do, I just end up sounding like very Indian. Like it starts off
That's
good,
a first.
and then it's like, that is not good, Keith. Can you imagine? That's just what happens. But tell me what happens when she says, I don't actually like that one. And you're like, but I love it.
She hasn't actually said that.
Never?
No. Well,
She's a good wife.
yeah.
This is why I'm still single.
What I've learned is I've learned to trust the way I feel playing it for anybody. Whether it's her or anyone else, like the conviction I feel in playing it for somebody. Sometimes I'm shocked. Sometimes I record a song, I finish it, I feel really good about it. I'm playing it for you, and as I'm playing it for you, regardless of what your reaction is to it, I might find myself going, I don't feel good about this.
So
and you may
critique
be
it
loving
yourself.
it, but I still don't feel good about it.
Wow.
I'm going to try and figure out why I don't feel good about it.
Well, I love that, you know, listen, you're like an OG, right, when it comes to country music. But I love that you're also including some of, like, the generations now that are happening, like Lainey Wilson, for example. So when you bring someone like her in as well, I love that you shared the story of how she kind of came into it. But I mean, you really could have gone to anybody, and anybody would love to work with you. So what was it about Lainey that really drew you to bring her on this song?
Just her voice.
Yeah.
I heard her voice before I knew what she looked like.
Yeah.
Because she had done some recordings that I got to hear, and so I heard this voice and was just like, who's that? What's that? Who is that? What? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's this girl, Lainey Wilson, blah, blah. She's over working with Jay Joyce and some songs, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, where's she from? Tell me, you know.
That's it.
You knew right away she was going to appeal to lots of people because it's just that voice. It's that Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton, whatever. It's that voice. Tricia Yearwood, whoever it is, you hear it and you feel it right away.
Yeah.
Something about it is real.
Let's talk about the fact that we've got Post Malone, right? Beyonce, so many incredible names also coming into the country genre. As someone who is an OG in this genre, like, what are your thoughts on that? I'm sure, like, I feel like the country community is so loving and inviting, but does that give you a lot of like happiness seeing like other people are jumping into the era?
Well, I mean, country music's always been a massive genre. I've always seen it to be a massive genre encompassing subgenres within it. When I moved to America, I would be traveling around. People didn't know who I didn't have a record deal, so I'm in my little, I got a small band and we're traveling around, we're playing. But you'd be in an airport and people are like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a musician. Oh, what kind of music you play? And I would say, I play country. And some people go, oh, I don't like country. And I always thought a better follow-up question would be, oh, what kind of country?
Right.
Instead of I don't like country, because I could almost always find some kind of country. Do you like Johnny Cash? Yeah, I like Johnny Cash. Okay, so do you like Willie Nelson? Right. Yeah, I actually don't mind Willie Nelson. Okay, so you do like some country.
Yeah.
And then there's a ton of it you don't like. That's the same with me. I mean, I don't like all hip hop. I like some of it. There's some of it I don't like. There's some jazz I don't care for. There's some I love. It's just what kind, you know? And I think what I love now about our genre is that it's getting its outlet for all these sub-genres of it. And so suddenly it's now got so many artists with all different forms of country. And it's all country. It's all country. I take issue with people who go, that's not country. I'm like, I don't think anyone actually owns country music. I think,
or like a specific sound that should be categorized as country.
Well, that's a kind of country, but sure, because I mean, even what Alan Jackson was doing, Ernest Tubb fans would be going, what's he doing with our country music, that Alan Jackson, he's ruining it. So it's all relative. You know, what Glenn Campbell was doing with it in the 60s was infuriating the purists because it wasn't, where's the fiddles, where's the what's all the lush strings and all this nonsense? That's not country music.
Yeah.
And now it's, classic country. So same as it ever was.
God, I would love to, like, as you're saying that, I'm honestly imagining you doing something with Diljit Dosanjh, who's like the first South Asian Punjabi artist who performed at Coachella, and he's like performing with Ed Sheeran now. And I'm like, cool. We need to get you to do some Bhangra, like mixed country and Bhangra.
Sure.
Like, that would be a party.
Yeah.
And when you do that, will you give me a credit for that?
I will.
I know I'm jumping the gun because people are just getting their hands on High. But as an artist, like I said, I'm sure, like you talk about, there's some songs that almost didn't make it, but then they did. And so there's this whole nother list of songs that are waiting as well. Are we gonna get like Too High?
Oh, that's very good with the number 2. I like it.
Right?
I like Too High.
See, I should just manage you. Where's your manager? I'm just kidding.
That's very good. Some of those songs, I picture them like cars out in the front yard up on blocks with some bits missing and the grass growing around them, and they can be used for spare parts, And then some actually fire up and you can drive them as they are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the songs that didn't make this record will see the light of day.
Yeah.
There's a song on this record that was been around since 2017. So some of them take a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what I'm guessing you're going to take this on tour, like, because you love connecting with your fans.
Yeah.
So do you want to make that announcement right now, like when the tour is starting?
We don't have the dates, but we're definitely coming to your town.
Yes.
At some point next year.
At next year,
next year, 2025.
Okay.
Yes.
Like beginning of next year.
And the thing I learned, getting there, a little bit later than that, but.
It's my job to learn so I can plan my life. Like, this isn't about you. This is so I can plan my life and I can come to your concert, This is for the fans.
You get the scoop. But what I love about touring, I realized in COVID, wasn't just about missing playing to live music with everybody singing and being a part of it. I also realized that I get to give my records another dimension, because that album is one version of each song. You get on stage and they start becoming these other things. They evolve and they grow and they expand, and I can give the record more dimension when we tour.
like the video, then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.